Yeah, let's get ready. Chin up, tits out, and watch out for the shoe.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium. Well, I think remember too, whenever we found the German Scheiser porn. Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's what
yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face.
Got right in front of you.
Welcome back to Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys. And much like CM Punk, Adam attacked Matt in the gorilla area of the podcast. There's a pending investigation. Spooky season is in full swing for most normies, but the crew over at Halloween is Forever brings you the scary all year long. Brian and Steve dig up the corpses of our cinematic youth to rip apart all over again, or they chop up some modern horrors they face off on monthly showdowns. The newest gravesite is their Patreon. For $5, you can become a little scamp, where you get an extra vote to influence their monthly showdown. You get some extra unedited podcasting, some horror reviews, and maybe a few surprises. For 10 smackaroos, you get to be a rascal. You get all the first tier perks, but you also get to join their Discord live. You can see the faces of horror by checking out www.patreon.com/HalloweenIsForever and give them a follow on all socials by searching out Halloween is Forever. But just make sure that you tell them that the boys sent you.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back. The boys have been busy. Adam is in the dog days of Beer Fest season. He has a couple events lined up. So, Adam, before we even go into how badly I suck at other podcasts, you've been so busy. I just keep watching your Instagram, and it's just, I'm brewing. Are you tired?
I'm freaking exhausted, man. I would like to start off by saying Patreon, huh? For Halloween is Forever. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe we should,
too. I forgot to mention too on that they watch the Fast and the Furious films and they just torture each other too.
Yeah. I heard that on the episode, so everybody should go listen. We'll touch on that in a second. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Did a double brew day, back-to-back days over Labor Day weekend. Crush and brew, by the time you're listening to this, has passed, but I was a psychopath and brewed 3 beers for that. And we just keep on taking events up in October, so there ain't no stopping us now, baby. Looks like I'll be brewing my figurative tits off until November.
Oh my gosh, dude. And then it's not
my
like
literal tits. I'm getting more and more tits as I drink more beer.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you don't just brew up like a basic Becky bitch beer. You're going hard in the paint every time.
Yeah, I mean, one of ours this past weekend was kind of basic. It's our cream ale. I revamped it a little bit. And you'll be seeing that at the Cooper's Lake Rhythm and Brews event at the end of September. And then again at Homebrew and Chill out in Greensburg. And then the other one was kind of an interesting West Coast IPA, kind of a little experiment that we're just going to have at the Cooper's Lake event and down here in the Jojitorium.
Nice. Hey, real quick too, are you able to talk about the ancient beer you made?
Yeah, so that, I mean, if you were at Crush and Brew, you had it. It is called Stone Mugs and Harmony, and it is a PA Swanky historic beer. It's to put it in modern terms, it's an English ale style because that's kind of what came over with the colonists. So it's an English ale style, kind of a dark, not super dark, between a brown ale and a dark English mild style ale. That we then added anise to because that was the bittering herb at the time, I guess, for lack of a better term. And then I did ferment it just in my cellar during the summer months without temperature control. So it fermented historically as well because that was the only vessel I had available.
Just like our forefathers would have wanted, God damn it.
I mean, it wasn't a stainless steel fermenter, so I used some modern technology, but for the most part, it went without temperature control. And it's tasting pretty good.
Back in the day, you would have been burnt at the stake for the witchcraft you performed.
Oh, totally. Throwing our star anise in the beer, you motherfucker. And it's coming in at a nice light colonial 3.8%. So
perfect.
Which is what we were shooting for.
Absolutely. Good. Great job there, man. I can't wait. Hopefully I can get my hands on some if it hasn't all been absolutely destroyed by the ravenous fans over in Ambridge.
Yeah, I will. I'll try to save you a little bit for next week.
God, you're a sweetheart. So, like you said, I was on Halloween is Forever, and I think I've had I drew the ire of Brian and Steve because the guest before me took their belt home and left them strapless. So they decided to absolutely run roughshod on me. If you haven't listened, the three of us tackled 80s slasher one-hit wonders, and because I stick to my bits, I brought in Shocker because I thought, hey, funny movie, I can tear it apart. It's Wes Craven's like acid fever dream when he tries to recreate Freddy Krueger as an electrocuted serial killer that can jump through TVs. And Brian and Steve hurt my feelings a lot.
Yeah, they punked you out. I mean, rightfully so. That movie is just goofy shit.
Well, that's why I picked it, because it's a silly goose time. I'm a silly goose time.
But you're trying to win. You're supposed to try to win.
I'm willing to lose most of you to gain some of you. So
yeah, I think you probably made some fans. Although when you told me the topic 2 weeks back before you went on the show, I gave you my movie like right off the rip without even thinking about it. And I said Pieces, which Brian ended up covering. And he did a great job. I do like that movie. It may or may not have won. You're going to have to listen to find out. But that's a great movie. And Opera, which Steve picked, I've never watched before. I've seen it on Shudder on and off as an option, and just doesn't seem like my kind of material just based off the poster and the name. But after hearing his review of it, I went and checked it out this weekend, and it was great. So that's what Halloween is Forever is all about. I discover new movies through there all the time.
Yeah, same here. They are the lords of Tubi, Shudder, and all the streaming services. They find little hidden gems all over the place, and if you go over and subscribe to them right now, you can get your hands on some horror gems just in time for what they call normie spooky season, because Brian and Steve start at the very end of July.
Get them decorations out early.
So, Adam, we are in round one. And my understanding is, even though we are in the throngs of beer season, we are in the onset of the fall season where my basic Becky bitch heart comes to life. So when we put all those things together, we come to round one beers. I want to know what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, so I had some stuff planned for this week, but we will now feature it next week. But I ran down and strategically picked out something from Insurrection Ale Works here in Heidelberg. And I got something. They named a beer after a friend of the podcast here. They have a new hazy IPA called Meet Me at the Creek, which is a Billy Strings song.
Nice.
And it's a double dry hopped hazy IPA brewed with two-row wheat, oats, and it's hopped with Simcoe Citra and Huel Melon, coming in at a nice 6.5%. So I'm going to crack that and pour it while you talk about yours.
So I am in the opposite direction here. I went to a little brewery up by my way called Allusion, and I got myself a Das Backow, and that is a German-style Schwarzbier. And this bad boy is nice and light. It's only clocking in at 4.5% ABV, but it is chocked full of hints of roasted malt, coffee, and dark chocolate on a black lager base. So this bad boy is as close to a Czech dark lager as I can get without continuing to consume all of the collab between Cellar Works and Monday's Brewing. So while I crack mine and get it poured up, Adam, go ahead and tell everybody how yours is tasting.
Yeah, it's tasting great. I mean, Insurrection definitely known for their hazies as far as beer goes. This one not disappointing. Tastes like a good throwback. Before thiolized yeast got into it, before all of the adjuncts were going in to make biotransformation more than it should be. This is good. It's bitter. It's tropical. The Huel melon's giving it great fruit flavors, and it's nice and pillowy body, just like you expect from a hazy. So I'm not disappointed at all. I might save you one for next week. We'll see.
Please do, sir, because I am definitely going to have to bring you one of these because this Schwartz beer, this thing is exactly as it is identified on the can. This thing, it says hints of roasted malt, coffee, and dark chocolate. It should say an explosion of dark chocolate, and the coffee is just rounding it out at the end. This thing, if you're drinking it, you're almost not believing that it's 4.5% because the flavor is just packed to the roof. But that's where all of you people need to understand that the ABV doesn't dictate the taste. This is a 4.5 Schwartz beer that is easily going to be one of my fall sippers, and I can't wait to bring you some, Adam.
Nice. Yeah, I would appreciate it. As the Jojitorium was the first host of Schwartz Beer Fest PA last year, I do like me a Schwartz beer. So Schwartz Beer Fest 2 coming soon.
So if you want to check out these two breweries, you go to Insurrection on all social media. And don't forget, they are brewing up beers all year round. And they do have some bangers over there. So if you want to get real boozy, they come with the heat. And Allusion is all over the place. That's up here in Vandergrift, PA. So you search them out on all social media. And they are an all over the place brewery. So they are always in season. They have a couple staples over there, too, that are their go-tos on tap. And they still do crowlers, growlers, and cans to go. So if you want to grab something and run, you're good to go.
Love their stuff too. And in addition, Insurrection, best chicken wings in Pittsburgh, in my opinion. I know that's a loaded statement, but that's my opinion.
I would second that. I mean, they're handcrafted sauces that they put on those wings. Every week there's a new kind of wing sauce, and they're all bangers. They're so good.
Absolutely. Not going to lie. I went to pick up a 4-pack, got a pint, got 5 wings, and then ran out. So they had orange buffalo on the menu tonight, which is their specialty sauce for the week. And it was phenomenal. Unreal.
Oh, I'm jealous. We'll have to do an Insurrection run together here soon, buddy.
Absolutely.
But before we start dreaming of chicken wings dipped in orange buffalo sauce and all the Czech dark lagers and IPAs that we can handle, we have to get through this podcast, and it has been a busy time in the combat sports news world. So from Buckle to Bell to Bellator, I'm back. The boys bring you the best combat sports news in the biz.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Jojitorium. Yeah. Hey, listeners. What you want to talk about?
I want to know when I'm telling lies. That's what I want to know.
It was a quite a week.
Oh my God. How about 9 days of professional wrestling that could have been an epic benchmark in the continuation of two companies coming together to bring fans everything they could want, from the polished product from the WWE to the hyper indie scene from AEW. But CM Punk decided to take a big old shit on the whole thing.
No, he wouldn't do that.
I know you're surprised, Adam. Oh. And I know we're going to go here and we're going to take a look at All In, Payback, and All Out. But of course, if we didn't talk about how CM Punk got terminated after interrupting the glorious 9 days of pro wrestling, we would be remiss. I just got to say, though, man, seeing all these basement dwellers having to fucking apologize for being like, no, CM Punk, it's a work. He's not really fired. And they're all walking it back. You guys are bitches.
It's a pretty weird soapbox to stand on.
Yeah, and another weird soapbox is CM Punk's absolute house he builds on the end of his soapbox to harass people that he wrestles alongside of. We saw it with the Elite, and now we're seeing it with formerly known as Jungle Jack Perry, but just Jack Perry now, who was approached by Punk after about using real glass during a TV spot during Collision. Where Perry took what was called a tongue lashing, and there's several sides of the story saying that different things have happened. And this is kind of like the amalgamation of seeing a ton of dirt sheeters and inside sources all just spitting out different ideas to try to reinforce other people. So then you fast forward to Jack Perry at All In 0 Hour, where he's taking on Hook, and he uses real glass, makes eye contact with the camera, and declares, "Real glass, cry me a river." And that's when it's clobbering time.
In all fairness, I was watching that live down here in the Jojitorium, and I'm leaning against the wall on my bar stool because I'm real hungover from a beer fest the day before. And I hear him say that, and I just went, oh shit.
Oh shit, indeed, because the two come face to face in the back, and Punk just begins pushing and then subsequently striking Jack Perry. So the parties mix it up, and even Samoa Joe came around to try to calm the whole situation down. And if you have Samoa Joe coming around being the voice of reason, you fucking up. So this didn't stop Punk from taking it out on Tony Khan, because then he started yelling and lunged at Tony Khan, knocking over monitors and forcing Khan to try and defend himself. He's just a tiny guy, and he's on cocaine.
Which is hilarious to me. The visual of that is just so funny.
Oh no, please don't. I'm going to make an announcement. So when separated, Punk was heard yelling, "I quit," flicking everybody off and walking away. But he was able to calm down enough to wrestle Samoa Joe in a pretty competitive match. But to no avail, because Khan then comes out on Dynamite and announces the termination of CM Punk, and Jack Perry is serving an indefinite suspension.
Bum, bum, bum. That's okay, Matt. Punk's going to come back on Collision and then crash all out.
Yeah, and none of that happened. And all of those crazy CM Punk fans that I mentioned earlier were saying, it's a work, don't worry, it's a work. If anything happens, well, Tony Khan bad, CM Punk good, Jack Perry bad heel, we need to save CM Punk. No, you don't. He's a cancer. He's a locker room cancer, and I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, and I mean, you know me, I've been a CM Punk apologist his whole career, and I'm out. I can't do it anymore. This was ridiculous all the way around. I mean, Khan's announcement where he said, like, it's a danger in the back in my life. I've never felt like my life was in danger. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction. But it is unprofessional, and it's 2-3 times in the last year. So, I mean, this is what happens when a pussy owner hires an egomaniac bitch face that just can't take any criticism, and then stuff gets explosive. I don't like either party in this. I don't like any of the three of them, Khan, Jack Perry, or Punk, but Punk is the biggest problem.
Yeah, hands down. You look at the situation itself, and I always like to take a situation that people are having reservations about, and I say, okay, take out the titles in the scenario, put yourself in that situation, go to your boss on Monday morning, and you jump him because he didn't give you a raise, and you see what happened.
Yeah. I'll be back on Saturday for Collision.
Yeah, I punched him right in the face, but you know what? I'm going to run down the ramp because it's clobbering time.
I'm the real world champion.
You're really fucking unemployed.
Fucking psychopath.
So, Adam, CM Punk bullshit aside, we still had 3 really good cards here for All In, Payback, and All Out. Great sandwich of wrestling here. But, Adam, that's a lot of wrestling to break down. So we're going to jump into the segment that we launch and people love, the good, the bad, and the botch. Adam, I challenge you to take over these 3, count them, 3 pay-per-views, or 2 pay-per-views and 1 premium live event, and break it down when we go over our good, our bad, and the absolute abysmal botch. So if you look at all 3 of these cards, Adam, what's your good? What's the ultimate thing that you saw over all 3 of these cards?
Well, as you said, there were 3 pay-per-views. I still call them all pay-per-views because it's still real to me, damn it. And it was hard for me to pick one good, Matt. I'm sorry. So in the honorable mention, I'm going to put the FTR and the Young Bucks from All In London as the honorable mention, but not my final pick. My best match of the 9 days was Danielson versus Starks in the strap match at All Out. Just a killer match, very violent. We were laughing, oohing, awing. We had a small crowd here watching it. It had everybody's attention. Nobody was even getting beers poured. We all waited till the end because we didn't want to miss anything. In that match, to see Danielson come back, I think a little early from injury on that broken arm, to save the show because Punk fucking left them with a hole, and put on that kind of match short notice was awesome.
I couldn't agree more, man. I thought Danielson did such a good job, and Ricky Starks showed out.
That is Stark's best match he's ever had in AEW. I don't know about his independent career, but that was unreal. That should propel him to the next level, even in a loss. He finished super strong.
Yeah, I concur. I think even the promo that he cut the following week about not tapping out, that he went to sleep, that he wants to have more of Danielson. So that could be a pretty good program between those two.
I agree.
So when it comes to the good over these three pay-per-views for me, again, honorable mentions, I'm glad that we're going to put these in there because I want to give a big shout out here to the Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus cage match because that was amazing.
Yes, absolutely, dude. It was unreal the bumps they were taking in that match.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought that they did a great job with selling the feud and allowing Zoe Stark at the end to have her end in the whole situation too. Because she's going to move on to, I think, a program, maybe with Trish, maybe not. Trish signed an extension, but we'll see how that plays out. For the good, the ultimate good here, I just want to say the title match between Adam Cole and MJF was incredible. It was a front bell to bottom bell, absolute knockdown, drag out, cool little anti-hero heel moves from both sides. Played the story so well. You almost forgot for a hot second that they're quote unquote best friends, especially those eye pokes that MJF is so well known for. I really, really loved that match.
Cole fucked up his neck.
Oh no, where's Roderick Strong?
Bitching in the back.
Yeah. So Adam, with the good, we also have to go into the bad. So what did you see on here that was bad?
No honorable mentions for me in this one. There was a clear bad match in a sea of very decent stuff. It was the Stadium Stampede match from All In, which featured Eddie Kingston, Penta, the best friends Chuck and Trent, and Orange Cassidy versus the Blackpool Combat Club of Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta, and Santana and Ortiz on the heel side. It was just sloppy. It was exposing the business. It looked fake. A ton of it looked fake. It was just an overbooked mess. A bunch of spots were missed, botched, because there was just too much going on. And it was just dumb. They did a fake injury angle on Penta so he could come back as like Undertaker Penta, and it just was it was hard to watch. I just, every time I looked up at the TV and watched a spot, my eyes rolled and I was sick of it. I'm super sick of Moxley at this point. I guess that honorable mention would be him winning that international title, but the match was great. Just the result was bullshit. But yeah, that was my bad match for almost every reason. I didn't see a positive in having it even occur. It was supposed to be a 6-on-6. There were injuries and passport issues that got it down to a 5-on-5. You should have just scrapped the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The only good Stadium Stampede was the first one.
I think I agree with you at that point. I don't remember every single one. I do remember the first one being good and humorous.
Yeah, it was cartoony a little bit.
Yeah, because that was the one with it was the Elite versus a team with Matt Hardy, right? Was on the other side. I don't even remember who was on that team.
No, Matt Hardy was on the team with the Elite, and they were taking on
Jericho's gang.
Yeah, the Inner Circle.
The Inner Circle. Yeah, that was good because I like that one because Hardy was in the pool and turning into past gimmicks and shit. Yeah, that was a good one.
So for me, the bad, it's clear, cut, concise. I hate it. I want to go back. I want to change it. Why is the House of Black dropping the trios belts to the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn? Should never have happened. That's the bad.
Because they sell T-shirts, man.
T-shirts be damned. You were building up the House of Black as some kind of juggernaut, and you let them drop the trios belts to a trio that I do like. I like the Acclaimed. I like Billy Gunn. But when you see who's going to carry that belt with some prominence for the next couple weeks or months, it's the House of Black.
They got them scissor straps, though. So I heard a rumor that I think is debunked. because of the scissor straps is that that got turned because Brody King punched a wall because he was mad at Punk and broke his hand.
Oh
But
God.
but then when I saw the Acclaim like scissor titles, I was like, they didn't get those done in 2 days' notice.
No.
Like it was a planned change, which is just to bring back badass Billy Gunn because we were all clamoring for that. I agree with you on that. That was definitely also a bad match.
Then we go from bad to the absolute abysmal, Adam. You have to dig deep into these 3 pretty good cards and find something that you wish just never happened.
Yeah, so funny enough, it was I take the botch as kind of like the biggest flub of the cards. And it was a good match. It was Miro versus Hobbs at All Out. Great big man match the whole way through until the finish. Miro had Hobbs in the game over, which is like his Steiner recliner finisher submission. And Hobbs tried to tap out once, and Miro's like, nope, let me crank this in. And as Miro was adjusting to crank him further, Hobbs tapped while Miro only had one hand on him and botched the whole finish. But wait, there's more, because then the formerly known as Lana, Miro's wife, came out after the match when Hobbs was threatening to strike him with a chair to make the Hulk Hogan type save, which made no sense. They didn't name her at all. Her Titantron just said hot and flexible, and she came out in a bra and high heels to save her 300-pound husband from another 300-pound man, and she's like, I don't know, 120 if she's carrying a 20-pound weight. It was just ridiculous. And was stupid and just the dumbest thing I saw on all 3 cards. I don't know why they had to bring her back. I mean, the finish botch on the tap was just a little bit of a botch, but then it just got worse and worse and worse. After what I thought was a very good match, considering when you get 2 men of that size in there, it can sometimes be very clunky. And the only clunky spot was that final submission.
Yeah, I concur with that.
But hot and flexible, baby. Let's see it.
I'm here for it, man. I would say my botch, and it's because I love her so much, is the continued bad booking of Hikaru Shida. I mean,
man.
That hurt my heart so much that I almost asked for a refund from buying that card. She carried the women's title through the pandemic. She wrestled in Japan in an eliminator tournament for you. She wrestled Nyla Rose and got thrown through the crowd through chairs for you, Tony Khan. And you let Saraya, without a program, take that belt from her. I can't stand it.
I mean, I kind of get it. Does do Sheeta dirty to do that because she only had. I mean, the problem is she only had that belt for like 6 days.
Made her a Gap champion.
Yeah, she was definitely a paper champ. She was a transitional champion to get it from a heel to another heel. I understand putting it on Saraya in Wembley just for the hometown pop, but man, they did Sheeta dirty. So yeah, I would say, like you said, the botch of booking that is the botch, not the actual match.
Yeah, because the match I thought was good.
Yeah.
Oh, one day my girl will just get her time to shine. She deserves it. So Adam, Game Bread Boxing is trying to put on some bangers. If you didn't know, the Jorge Masvidal backed promotion made a major announcement ahead of the Junior Dos Santos Fabricio Werdum bare knuckle brawl that another fight amongst UFC alums is now slated for October 28th between Alan Belcher and Roy Big Country Nelson, and that one is a bare knuckle MMA fight.
That is awesome. I don't even know where this promotion came from, but those are 2 awesome matches. I mean, everybody involved is past their prime, but I'm gonna watch this shit.
Absolutely, and you should, because the winner out of Belcher and Nelson will take on the winner of Santos and Werdum, and that fight will kick off under the Masvidal back promotion in January 2024 for their heavyweight championship belts.
Very nice. And for those of you that don't know, the 2 men in the MMA match, Alan Belcher is the one that has a terrible tattoo of Elvis on his upper arm, and Nelson's the guy that looks like me and Matt.
Go Nelson, go Nelson.
If we could grow a decent beard.
Oh yeah, if we could do
He's
that.
got much better facial hair than us, but we've got similar midsections.
Uh, yeah, I think he's got his beat though, man.
Yeah, by a little bit. I mean, he's an athlete.
He's a real athlete. You know who's not an athlete though?
Or sumo. Who's not an athlete?
Dylan Dennis, because he's a true cocksnot pile of a human being. This fucking guy. I usually never hope that the Paul brothers can knock out their opponent, but this time I'm hoping that Dylan Dennis gets his head completely shoved into his neck like a fucking Ninja Turtle. Because no stranger to controversy, Dennis is facing a lawsuit now, not from Logan Paul, but from his fiance, Nina Ogdal, because according to Ogdal, Dennis has posted despicable things about Ogdal roughly 250 times since the fight between Paul and Dennis was announced on August 8th. In the affidavit, Ogdal alleges that Dennis violated federal law when he posted an obscene photo of her on August 11th. And then he also did it again when it looks like he was able to hack into her Snapchat account or has someone else do it, because he was able to post, I believe it's a video of her from like 10 years ago when she was in a relationship.
Yep. And it gets explicit.
Very much so. So because of that, Agdal is seeking $150,000 per violation, and she's filing a PFA.
And as of 12 hours ago, it was granted.
There you go, Dennis, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm on the Google machine now because, in all honesty, I didn't know who she was, so I Googled her. But her PFA was granted 12 hours ago, according to the Daily Mail.
Good. I'm glad that it was, and I hope Dennis understands that if he violates that thing, he's screwed. But you know what? I kind of hope he fucks up. He's
a piece of shit from the beginning. He's the one that like started that after the Bell fight between after the McGregor and Khabib fight. Yeah, thank you. I had Diaz on the brain and I knew it wasn't Diaz. But yeah, so Dennis was the big catalyst in that too. So he's a piece of shit.
Speaking of former UFC fighters, Adam, we're going into a segment we always go into before we go into a break for some ads from our friends. Oh yeah, going over a jobbing, baby, because we already tried to tell you punks that Rousey just ain't coming back for UFC 300, but of course, you filthy dirt cheaters still think that the baddest woman on the planet is coming back. I don't understand why. You're wrong. So wrong that Bleacher Report had a little bit of fun here, and they actually picked 4 fighters she could potentially square off against. Even though that we think it's jobbing that she's coming back to UFC 300, let's look over these 4 fighters, Adam, and let's see if we think if she were to come back, would these fighters step into the ring with her?
Cool.
The first one we got here is Juliana Penne. She is coming in 3-3 in her last 6 fights. She's the number 1 in the bantamweight. But even though she's number 1, people only believe she's number 1 because she had a victory over Amanda Nunes, who then stepped back in, smashed Juliana, and retired and vacated the bantam belt. Do you think that Juliana would step into the ring with Ronda Rousey?
I think Juliana Pena would step into the ring with her, and this might be one of the few people I would like to see Ronda beat the shit out of. Because she's super disrespected Nunes on her way out. Actually, like talking shit to her from ringside as she was making her retirement speech. So, Pena's a piece of shit. Let Ronda break that arm.
I agree. It'd be kind of cool to see these two square off because I think Juliana needs to be taught a lesson.
I agree.
The second fighter they have served up here is the preacher's daughter, Ms. Holly Holm. Certainly, she's in the twilight of her MMA career. She was in talks for the bantamweight belt, but got submitted by Mayra Buena Silva, taking her out of contention. A match between the two would not impact the bantamweight scene because of that loss, but it could be an epic rematch because Holm is the one who sent Ronda Rousey packing the first time.
Correct. I'd love to see it. I don't think Ronda would be down for it, though. I don't know if she wants to taste her own teeth again. But I'd like to see it. And like you said, it doesn't impact the bantamweight scene. So out of the two we've heard so far, this is definitely more possible. We will see. But I would definitely put Holly Holm beating her again.
Yeah, I think so too. The reach and the kick effort, like there's just nothing that Rousey has to defend against that unless she learned how to box while she was in WWE, which she didn't.
Right. No, they don't teach boxing in NXT.
Nope, they don't. They can't even teach
Son of a-
falling. So, Adam, moving on to the third opponent here, Misha Tate, currently 1-2 in her second stint with the UFC promotion. She has a decent history of a one-sided rivalry, but it could be fun. But Tate still sees herself as a title-ready fighter. Do you think that she would gimmick out to fight Rousey and take herself out of what she believes to be the title scene?
No, I don't think anybody wants to see that again. I think it would be the third time those two went up against each other.
Yep.
And Rhonda dominated her the other two times. So I don't want to see it. I don't think Tate wants to do it. I mean, she's 1-2, so I don't know what title she's going after. But keep going for that and don't get distracted. I don't even think it's a money fight, to be honest.
I don't think it is either.
There's history, but it's lopsided history. Like they solved that on the second fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tate, I don't think Tate wants the match. I think Tate does view herself as a title contender, and Rousey, if she were to come back, they would try to elevate her pretty quickly. But I think putting those two together, it would kind of be sloppy. I don't really want to see it.
Delusion's a hell of a drug if she thinks she's in the title picture. But
well,
they're gonna
sir,
have to make a new weight class.
Well, sir, if you like delusions, how about number 4 with Miss Valentina Shevchenko? This is just cruel. Shevchenko just lost her flyweight title to Alexa Grasso, but she's still considered one of the most dangerous and best pound-for-pound fighters, not female fighters, fighters in the world.
Yeah, Valentina, she shouldn't be in there with anybody stepping back into the octagon. She is trained. She is a murderer. She will knock any of these other ladies' heads off at this point, including Rhonda Rousey, who's been out of the ring for years now. So I don't see this one happening. It's not smart for anybody, and it's a waste of Valentina's time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's a waste of her time. And
unless she gets paid a shit ton, then she can just beat her ass for fucking $1 million or whatever. But other than that, fuck.
If there's a good purse with it, I would definitely say, because I mean, Shevchenko is just going to go in there and just knock somebody around. Like, do you want to see a dead body?
Right. But I don't think Rhonda's crazy enough to sign up for that. No matter what the way is.
But do you know who is crazy, Adam?
Our sponsors?
We don't have any of those, but our friends are pretty crazy, and they get featured in between the breaks now until we get some sponsors. So if you want to support us, go support our friends. When you support our friends, we get to do some pretty cool stuff. So we'll see you on the other side.
Work sucks. Am I right, Jay?
Yeah, Kay, it does. But luckily, the Fuck My Work Life podcast is here to help you through.
In this comedy podcast, we share memorable workplace stories through guests and listener submissions in the hopes of brightening your day, or at least leave you thinking, maybe you don't have it so bad after all.
Listen to Fuck My Work Life on your favorite podcast platform and follow us on all the socials at FMWL Pod.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something from our friends that you like, because again, when you support our friends and you support us, and when you support us, we get to do some pretty cool stuff, like jumping into round 2 beers. The thing I like about doing round 2 beers when we're not next to each other is we get to double down on how many beers we have. So much like the first round, Adam, why don't you go ahead and introduce yours first, and then I'll go second.
I sure will. So even though you're not here, I got something from Sarver here in my basement. And it is Cellar Works Cocoa Bean Sweet Stout. It's their sweet stout coming in at a nice 5%. And they brewed it and fermented it on vanilla and cocoa nibs. So nice light stout. Switching it up from that first round hazy. And I'm ready to crack it. Oh my God. I fucking sprayed myself all over the face.
Money shot.
Oh man, I didn't know Johnny Sins was also in my basement. Holy fuck. He should drink some water. This shit's dark.
So Adam, I'm gonna tell you right now, fuck your beer, because I have the Fall of Troy from Belching Beaver Brewery.
Matt went to California.
Yeah, well, someone's got to go over there and try to save them from bad beers, and Belching Beaver did that. So when they went over there, they decided that they were going to make this orange vanilla imperial IPA with mosaic and orange vanilla, of course, and it's just going to be an imperial, just delicious bomb, because 8.5%. It has everything that my first beer didn't have, which isn't a bad thing. I don't know if it's a good thing. I've never had this one before, so I'm going to crack it open while you tell people about your beer.
Oh yeah. So I mean, this is everything it's promised. And in full disclosure, Matt brought me a 4-pack of this a few months back. But yeah, I mean, it's a sweet stout. It does not taste like 5%. It tastes like it's been sitting on these nibs and this vanilla for quite a while with a high ABV. I'd guess it's around, like, just from taste. If you said, "Hey, guess the ABV," I would guess 7.5, 8. But there's just so much flavor in it. The vanilla comes through. The cocoa's there. It's a nice dark chocolate fucking flavor right up front, and then it finishes with vanilla. I do believe there is a little bit of lactose, which helps. Yes, there is, which kind of helps that vanilla come through at the end. But definitely not sweet, like overly sweet. It's very well balanced, still roasty. Can't say enough good stuff about it. It's Cellar Works, man. Like, their shit's great.
Yeah, I do love Cellar Works. They always put out some really good stuff. That's why I love picking it up and bringing it to you, because it's fresh off the tap.
Yeah, I get the hookup.
So my beer is absolutely a juice bomb. I mean, this thing is orange to the core. The nose on it hits you as soon as the can cracks. The color is beautiful, and it's 8.5, but because the sweetness is there, the vanilla is there, and there is some lactose here, it all balances out. So you kind of trick yourself into thinking you're not drinking an almost 9% imperial, which is dangerous. But also, too, the thing I like about this beer is that even though the nose is very prominent, you think you're going to get smacked in the palate, and you really don't. It's soft. It's as soft as it can be without robbing you of the flavor profile. So it's not thin, it's not tinny, it's none of those things. It's nicely packed with flavor, and it's a sneaky 8.5. I think if I had a couple of these, buddy, I'd be resting myself on some nibs.
That sounds amazing. But I know the truth on why you picked Belching Beaver.
What was that?
It's because they have that Deftones series of IPAs. You're trying to get on the good side so you can get some Deftones beer.
I have been reaching out to their talent agent and just apologizing profusely pretty much every day.
I will say their Deftone IPAs I've had are great. I think I've had like 3 of the 4 or 5 they've put out, and they've all been really good. I've never had a bad IPA from Belching Beaver.
Yeah, neither have I. And this being the first time I've had the Fall of Troy, I would like to get a couple more of these. And the Allegheny beverage that I go to, they have these in face cans, so I get the oversized pints to bring home.
We are spoiled by distribution.
Certainly are. So, Adam, while we sip on these delicious beers, we have a bit of a showdown ourselves here. It is spooky season. The air is getting crisp and cool. Scary decorations are making their way out to the neighborhood, and we are going to go full on goth girl. But with those decorations, weather, and candy comes the parties and needs for costumes. And unfortunately, there are just some staple costumes that should be a no-go. And the boys have been to enough parties to give you insight into what costumes you shouldn't be using. So I challenge you to the Mount Rushmore of overused / bad costumes.
Which I like to call, since it's a negative, the Monongahela River of bad costumes. Let's throw some costumes in the Mon.
So, Adam, we do have some new listeners. So to break it down for them, Adam and I pick 4 of our very own choices on the topic, and we pit them against each other. So we'll have 8 in total, and then we decide on which 4 we present to you as the Mon River of bad or overused costumes. So I went back and I saw that, Adam, I went first last time. So I'm going to give you the first round draft pick here.
Oh, you gave me all the power. I'm so excited because I got a great one for round one and I was afraid you might take it.
Oh, gosh. Go ahead.
So it's been my least favorite costume, the most overused costume for the female demographic over the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years. I don't know when the Suicide Squad came out, but there's your hint. It's the Harley Quinn costume. It is garbage. It was overused the first year it was available, and there's still people using it. I saw it all over the place last year. It's not fun. It's not kinky. It's not sexy. It's stupid. Throw it away.
I think as soon as Riley Reid starts wearing it on the hub, you gotta stop wearing it out in the Publix.
Yeah, you ain't gonna beat that. You're no Margot Robbie either. Like, sorry, ladies.
Yeah, but also too, she's a psyop. She's a plant. So
it's also one of the worst versions of Harley Quinn I've ever seen or read. I don't know. The comics were better. Animated series, it was better. It was boring. I don't know. It wasn't a good version.
I think it's because DC was playing it so safe on the movies that they just really couldn't get out of their own way, and that's why it didn't play very well.
I agree. But bullshit, overused costume. If maybe I saw one a year, it would be original. But when there's 5 at the same party, you done fucked up.
So Adam, to go along coincidentally with your number one, I am going with the incel favorite as of late, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
It's a good one.
This one, here's the thing. I love this movie. I love this movie a lot. I love the Joker. But I swear to God, if I see one more person post like this is who I really am on the inside and you don't want to see who shut the fuck up. Stop wearing the face paint. Stop trying to squeeze and I'm saying this as a fat guy, your oversized fucking body in the slim tuxedo and trying to pass yourself off as Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix had to lose 50 pounds for this role. He basically went full machinist.
I think he was like 125 for that role. He was so tiny.
Disgusting.
Right. Because he was mentally ill, for real, not faking it in his mom's basement. I would also let you add the Jared Leto Joker, damaged Joker onto that too. But I haven't seen him much as of late. Definitely the Joaquin Phoenix the last 2 years has been overly prominent.
Yeah, I didn't even want to go ahead and say the Jared Leto one because I hate it so much that if I say it too many times, he might appear.
Yeah.
So, Adam, what's your number 2?
Boy, I got a long list here. Well, there's between 2. There's one that's more overused than the other, and it's been forever now. And every year, I still see an equal amount of dudes dressing up like this guy. And it's Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. When is that shit gonna die? So much like Margot Robbie, dudes, you don't look like Johnny Depp. That's prime Depp. At my best, if I Joaquin Phoenix myself and got down to 125, I might look like Johnny Depp now. Nobody's looking like Jack Sparrow, and it's played out. I don't know when the last Pirates movie even was out. 2016, 15, maybe
something
before.
Like that.
It's time to hang those ones up. It's time to burn those costumes. You don't need to be a pirate anymore.
I think what's funny about it too is that I heard a guy talking about the same situation, like, oh yeah, Jack Sparrow, like that character would still be cool if he would have, it wouldn't have been cool if he would have lost that lawsuit against Amber Heard. I'm like, that's your linchpin argument?
Yeah, maybe it's not cool because it's not timely. You got that on the bargain rack at Target. That's why you're dressed as Jack Sparrow.
Also, too, I can't wait to the day that we redo Jabra Juice and we get to put the label with my face on it and I'm wearing the Jack Sparrow hat.
I totally forgot you dressed as Jack Sparrow 9 years ago.
Yeah, ironically.
Yeah. That was just so you could drink rum out of the bottle all night.
Yeah, and it was dope.
It was pretty fun.
So, Adam, my number 2 here, and I have to dip into some TikTok trends for my number 2 because I've already seen a lot of these and I'm not super happy about it. If you think back about, I want to say a couple months ago, there was a celebrity birthday that I thought you would have shouted out, and that would have been Grimace's birthday, because I'm seeing a ton of motherfuckers dressing up like Grimace now with those stupid purple shakes, pretending that they're getting mass murdered.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I love that TikTok trend, but it has passed. Like, it's not gonna be a good Halloween costume. If we were up and running with this podcast, we would have done one.
Yeah,
we would have done
too.
one. You love seeing me cosplay dead.
I do.
I mean, it really hits on your fantasies, so like it works out.
It's very fetish on the nose for me. So yeah, I do like when you play dead for me. It's pretty nice.
You pack me in ice and then you take my pants off. It's weird.
Give me your kidney, wink.
Hey, that's not how you get to my kidney.
Yes, it is now. What's your number 3, buddy?
So I'm glad you went into the current, because I did 2 throwbacks now that have been overhyped, overused for years. I'm doing a prediction on this one. It's not a spoiler. It's a prediction. And it is Wednesday Addams. I think we're going to see way too many Wednesday Addams, way too many poorly done Wednesday Addams. It was a huge hit. I don't think that was out before Halloween last year, right? I think that came out in like the springtime for some reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're going to see it, the Jenna Ortega specific Wednesday Addams, done to death. I do appreciate a Christina Ricci Wednesday Addams still, because that's the one I like. But I think you're going to see too many of those. I think it's, if you haven't bought your costume yet, avoid that one.
Yeah, 100%. Also, too, the reason why the Christina Ricci one's better is because she had a Pugsley to beat the shit out of.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that costume's gonna annoy the shit out of me. I went to a Spirit Halloween the other day just to peruse around because I want to try to buy one of those Jason Voorhees hockey jerseys, but not for $80. And there was a whole wall of just Wednesday Addams apparel. So you're not wrong. It's gonna be an epidemic.
Yeah. It will be the Harley Quinn of this year. Spoiler alert. Actually, that or my 4th round pick, depending on your 3rd round pick. I'm going futuristic on the next one too.
I'm going to actually dip back into something that's completely hacky, but I still have seen people talk about doing because they're like, oh my God, I lost a hot girl summer. So I'm going to dress up as COVID-19 for. So I've actually seen people they're like kayfabing up their COVID-19 outfits. Like, I don't understand why you want to dress like a thing that completely ruined an entire 2 years of humanity.
And again, if Grimace is already out of the zeitgeist, COVID-19's old too,
Okay, Adam, we're down to your 4th round pick, and you got to make it strong. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm picking on the women a lot this year for Halloween, but that's just because I like to look at your costumes. You have beautiful costumes for the most part, but some of them are overused. And this is another one. And I'm with Matt's permission, I'd like to go with a couple's costume over just focusing on the ladies. That is already overused without even seeing a single one. I will say Barbie and Ken is going to be an overused Halloween costume.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're so right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be good. And again, Margot Robbie did that. She made my list twice. Just don't be Margot Robbie. It is very popular, but everybody thinks it's popular, and everybody's going to dress up like it. So pack that pink Corvette in the garage, get your Malibu house on the market, and fucking dress up like a sexy Dracula or something.
Yeah, I can already know too that everyone's going to dress like Barbie because everyone dressed up for the movie. So there's all just a bunch of like old duck skirts and pink shirts laying around that they're going to just throw on for Halloween.
You know what I would like to see? How about everybody, men and women? Let's get some sexy Oppenheimers out there, huh?
Oh.
Nuclear science is sexy this year. 2023, global warming. Let's melt it down.
How did you guess my number 4?
Is that really your number 4?
My number 4 is Oppenheimer because all of these.
Sexy. How about sexy Oppenheimer? Like some crotchless pants.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna make it work for either side, but all I could hear about is how everyone did Barbenheimer. So they would go watch Barbie, then they'd go watch Oppenheimer, and they'd be like, Oppenheimer was so boring. Yeah, because you basically licked a fucking outlet by watching Barbie, and then you went into a TED Talk with Oppenheimer. What the fuck did you expect?
I'm sure it's a great movie. I haven't seen either movie yet, admittedly, but Oppenheimer's on my list. I worked in that field for a little bit, so I'm super interested.
It's a cool movie. I think you're really going to like it. I thought it was fantastic, and it really does kind of hold close to the history of how the atomic bomb was crafted and then deployed. But that's very nerdy, and I don't want to get into that because this is not a history podcast. This is a make fun of costumes podcast right now.
Right. Before we get into our Mon River, I do have some funny honorable mentions. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
One was a self-attack on you, but I do agree. Men, stop dressing as Ghostface from Scream.
Oh, you fucker.
As well, men and women. I've seen both. The inflatable T-Rex costume, that's out. And specifically for Pittsburgh this year, another spoiler, do not dress up as the white romper girl from the Morgan Whalen porter potty incident. Everybody's doing it. Don't do it. If you go to a party dressed as that, you're going to be fucking high-fiving 5 people dressed just like you. So, boom, those are my honorable mentions. I think my honorable mentions beat your list.
It's close. I do have one honorable mention. If you allow me to do it, I have one. So every person who's like, I don't participate in anything, they all had the same fucking shirt. It was that dumb shirt that says, this is my costume. Stop doing that.
Yeah, don't do that. Just don't wear a costume.
Yeah, just show up in your regular shit. You'll look like like a troll if you just wear your regular clothes to the party, you asshole.
Agree. Totally agree.
So, Adam, we do have two, I believe, incredible lists of costumes here. We have to come down to the final 4 here. So I'm going to let you go ahead and pitch. And if you say just all of yours, I don't know if I'm going to be able to agree with that.
I do say all of mine, but I will definitely say you got to put Harley Quinn on that list.
Harley Quinn is number 1. Here's my pitch to you. Harley Quinn and the Joker, put them together, make it a couple's costume, and that's number 1.
I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
I'm sick of seeing both of those. And I'm saying every iteration of the Joker I'm sick of seeing too. Joaquin Phoenix, definitely the most recently overused one, but no Jokers. I don't care if it's even the good Joker. Like, I don't care. I don't care if it's Nicholson Joker. I don't want to fucking see it anymore.
So then from there, I think you have a strong argument for Wednesday Addams for number 2.
I agree. I told you I put some work in this week.
Yeah, you caught me slipping.
Yeah, I did. You were on the ropes. I knocked you out. I didn't give you the 10 count. I just elbowed you in the nose, brother.
Just killed me.
Give me that other one. Give me Barbie and Ken, you motherfucker.
Absolutely not.
Now I'm just talking shit.
I believe that we should go with COVID-19 for number 3 because some motherfuckers are going to wear that.
I don't agree with you. If I'm picking one off your list, I'm picking Grimace.
I'll go with Grimace.
Yeah, I think Grimace. I don't think you're going to see that much COVID-19 this year. I think it was outdated last year. If you do see it this year, it's a shame. But I think Grimace is going to actually happen still.
So because you agreed with me, I'll give you full bore to pick number 4, all on your own, no arguments.
I'm breaking all the fucking rules. Into the Mon River, Pittsburgh specific, Rhonda Rousey from the Whalen Morgan, whatever, porter potty brawl. Rhonda Rousey goes number 4.
We have to make Rhonda Rousey t-shirts now.
That's fine with me.
So for the Mount Rushmore of bad and overused costumes, we have Harley Quinn and Joker, all iterations. Wednesday Addams, the Grimace costume, and the Romper Rousey. If you're wearing any of these things this Halloween season, you'd go fuck yourself.
For the first time ever, an honorable mention makes the final Mon River. Look at that.
So good. I'm glad it's there.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, Adam, we are moving into your absolute favorite segment of this podcast.
Is it questions from the internet?
It is questions from the internet.
I'm so fucking excited.
Are you hard? I can see that you're hard from all the way over here.
I mean, I've had 4 beers tonight, so it's as hard as it gets. Pushing rope, you know.
But at least you can push. Number one, you get to take over a drive-in movie theater for one night. Adam, what double feature are you putting up for the attendees?
Much like an overused costume, I feel like I'm going to be really cliche with my double feature here. First up, because like when I went as a kid anyway, there was like usually one movie at the beginning on a double feature for the family, and then there was like an adult movie, because the kids would fall asleep in the car by the second movie for the adults. So I'm going to be pretty cliche, and for the first movie is the first movie I saw at a drive-in, and that's Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. Jeff Goldblum, all his glory, whatever. And then the second one is just a movie I've always wanted to see at a drive-in. It was Born Too Late, as the Clerks would say, lame-ass band. And it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I don't think there is a better drive-in movie than that, and I've never gotten to see it, so I would put that up.
I really liked both those movies.
Boom.
Especially Jurassic Park opening. That's the way to go, man. Because that's like just adult enough where you can have all the fun with the kids, get yourself ready for the second one.
Coincidentally enough, when I was young, that was the adult feature too. I believe the opening one was the terrible live action Flintstones movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jurassic Park. And I was so excited for the dinosaurs. And then I fell asleep like a half an hour in and had to watch it like on VHS a month later.
Not bad though, man. I think your picks are solid. I like how you set that up.
I mean, I'm being competitive the whole way through. I'm going to try to beat you at questions from the internet too. So
I didn't know it was a competition. So if I had to pick two movies, I like to start it off with something that's just over the line of scary enough to kind of get the kids on edge a little bit. So I'm going to go with the original Ghostbusters, the very first one for the first movie.
Very nice.
And then when the little whippersnappers fall asleep and it's just time for all the adults to have fun, drink a few more beers and crack some jokes, I'm going to go with Critters.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good one.
So you get two spooky movies, but the second one is like a nice sloppy B movie full of gore and fun, and there's boobs and action and bounty hunters and little rats that can shoot fucking spikes out of their back. I love it. It's a great movie. I have all of them on DVD. I love those movies.
Those are great picks.
So Adam, number 2 here. What are your thoughts on the band Kiss? Are they good? They bad? They classic? Are they timeless? Or are they sellouts?
I guess they are classic. I guess they're, a part of Americana, but I think they fucking suck. And they're sellouts.
Yeah, I have to concur with that. I think that they're absolute sellouts, especially when they put the disco album out. I was like, you're only going to do this to make sure you make money, and that's it.
And it's also the thing of, and I'm not going to, I guess I can't say for every band, because I'm sure there's bands I listen to that have replaced original members or like kicked out. But like theirs was so bad and so negative and so toxic when they kicked out their original drummer and guitar player. I don't remember the specifics now. And then just continued to tour because like those guys just couldn't do it. So they're like, you're out. We need to make more money. We don't have enough money. And I feel that same way now about bands that like replace a dead member and then just go on tour to fucking cash in. Like Pantera. I love Pantera. I won't go watch them live anymore. That's bullshit.
What about Static X?
Same thing. Same thing. It's fucking bullshit. And there's other bands that are doing it. Just leave the memories alone, WWE taught us. Leave the memories alone. and go ahead if you want to start a new band and get a lead. I have no problem with those people making money, but you're making money on the deceased. And if it's going towards, and I guess I don't know the situation, if the money's going towards the deceased's family, like if they have kids and a wife that need the money, then I guess I understand. But the Pantera thing, I don't think that's the case. And I don't know the Static X details, but I don't think that's the case for the Pantera one. I think that's a money grab by Phil, and I think that's bullshit.
Oh, it's 100% a money grab by Phil because he wouldn't go on tour with them to begin with, and he only did it whenever he was presented with a huge contract to tour.
Right, and I digress because I know we're supposed to be talking about Kiss, but Kiss did the same thing. Like, they had more money than they could fucking burn in their lifetime, and they still fucking did it. So that wasn't the case for them either. Nobody died. Everybody was fine. They just didn't like the guy with the cat paint and the fucking Ace Frehley because he was high all the time. So they fucking got rid of him.
What I like most about that too is they're like you with the cat face paint. We don't like that, so you're fucking out. But you, when you come in, you also put on the cat face paint because you're our new pussy bitch. Now get in here.
We need to call somebody a pussy on a regular basis. It's gonna be you, drummer fuck. You know. And in all honesty, though, Ace Frehley, I do like. I've heard interviews with him, like while he was with Kiss and after. Like, he's just he's a true space cadet, dude. He is fucking funny. Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a hell of a guitar player too. I mean, he really will. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
So, Adam, last but not least here, do you have a current favorite internet personality that you follow?
Man, I can't pick just one, to be honest. So my big. I'm old. I'm closing in on 40. So my big thing for internet personalities is YouTube channels. And I have 3 that I'm going to get through real quick. I promise, man. One is Red Letter Media. They like comically review good and bad movies. So that's my place to go for movie, like general movie stuff. Then there's a guy. It's Andy the Maniacal Cinephile. He's his channel is called Stitch Together Pictures, and he tackles horror movies in just very comical ways. And then on the flip side of our podcast, that covers combat sports. My favorite combat sports one is MMA On Point. They do super detailed informational MMA videos, like countdown videos, rankings in like about 12 minutes. And it's amazing. And the production on it's great. The editing on it's great. The music's great. So those are my 3. Everybody should give all of those a follow.
Yeah, I would say I also kind of hang around the old Instagram reels, and I hang around the YouTubes. And I would say right now a good internet personality, it's also a team as well. It's Wrestle Talk. I really enjoy. They have daily videos that are just comedic enough to help you take in all the CM Punk news, but you take it with like the grain of salt they deliver it with. It's so good. I also can't say enough about Nick Nocturnal, because he'll say like, this is how you Lamb of God in 30 seconds. This is how you Pantera in 30 seconds. Like, it's just a fantastic Instagram page. And he'll interview like up and coming artists. Like, he had the lead singer of Spite on there the other day, and they were just ripping on viral videos. It was really cool.
Oh, nice.
So, Adam, you know what other internet personality I like?
The Paul brothers.
I like you. I like you on your socials.
I don't think I'm an internet personality. Oh shucks.
You are. But if you want to be a bigger internet personality, how about you tell everyone who's listening what's on tap and where can you find us?
I don't know where I'll be. I know exactly where I'll be. Fucking hell. September. We all just got through Crush and Brew in Ambridge. Thank you guys for coming out. I do not know what's on tap for the rest of these, but whatever is left from Crush and Brew will be on tap down here in the Jojitorium come Tuesday. So come get it. Then you can catch us September 23rd at Home Brews and Blues at the Coopers Lake Campground up there just outside of Slippery Rock, PA. October 22nd, we will be at Home Brew and Chill at the All Saints Brewing Company out in Greensburg. And then October 28th, Brewing for a Cause at the Energy Innovation Center in Pittsburgh. And, just stay tuned to this podcast. There probably is 1 or 2 more coming in October that I am just finalizing now. So it's going to be a busy October. You might be able to catch us almost every weekend in October at this point.
And if you want to know those dates in perpetuity at the reach of your fingertips, all you have to do is follow Adam at @bash_brew on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and X. If you want to go with the boys down here in the Jojitorium, we are at DWTB on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also on Threads, X. TikTok, YouTube, and I'm trying to work on some other stuff too, but who knows when the hell that's going to happen. I appreciate every single listen, every single person who tunes in. So thank you very much. So from our respective houses, bringing you this podcast, until next time, cheers.
Hot and flexible.